All right, everybody, we had a small technical issue. The computer completely crashed, so I don't know what the heck's going on with that. Everything locked up, stream went down and rebooted. So, let's get on with our program. All right, I got the iPad out, so to speak. We'll see what happens. I do apologize, but as I've stated before, I don't own the internet yet. If it did, it would work. So let's get this up. We'll go to YouTube. I go to my channel. All right. Okay, I got the chat up. And we'll get this in front of me here. Okay. Now I need power or else it'll go dead. So as I was saying before I rudely got cut off by the internet, settle in for a long, boring day. Let's see if we can get this plugged in. Okay, that's on. And we'll put this up by the pilot. Okay. So now when you chat at me, I can see it. All right, I had marked this rib top and bottom, and we're going to glue the plywood rib to the half rib. I'm going to use a thicker slow set CA so I can get it positioned correctly, or you can use epoxy. Doesn't matter. But as everybody knows, I like to do things quickly. You just need to go around the outside of this because you're not, come on, because you're going to be taking the inside out, basically. So there's no need to put glue on where you're going to be cutting away. Maybe this glue is no good. Oh no, it's good. Just can't get it out. Yeah, I do. I do custom building like Tom. I painted for Tom, but I won't do that again. I'm not painting no more airplanes for anybody. So around the outside here, Okay. Gotta get a paper towel. Get a Kleenex or something. Should have got some debonder when I was, or some acetone or something. But that's alright. We'll make do. So now I want to mark where my landing gear block goes, which I've already marked it on the I can't take that out. I guess I have to put it up. I don't know. We'll just mark it on there. So, my pen. And contact me through Stunt Hangar, yes. You probably won't like the price, but I'm probably pretty compatible with Tom. I can't see him doing it for much less than I would do it. Okay, we have a rib made out here for this. I want to double check one more time, make sure it fits perfect, and it does. So now I need to make the land. For you guys who don't know this, a square, combination square, the rule on the combination square is exactly an inch. So if you I'm drawing a center line down through this so I can get the gear block in square. If you take this here and lay it up in there, this line here is exactly an inch apart. I frame them for no less than $1,000, and the more complicated ones go up from there. And if you think that's too expensive, call Tom, call Bob. $1,000 is cheap. Okay, so now it doesn't need to come up in there that high. So you want to make. I've been asked this before on Stunt Hangar. How do I do the landing gear blocks? Well, that's what we're doing here. It's a plywood rib glued this time to an 1/8 inch stick, 1/8 inch rib. You can use a 1/16 or 3/32, but I happen to have a piece of 1/8, so that's what I did. Then you draw the center line. You're going to cut up in here. This is where your land is going to be. So I have to use, I don't have a table saw, like I say, jigsaw or anything. This necessity is the mother of invention, so we're going to use this jigsaw here. Okay, we've cut this out using a hand-held jigsaw. Clean it up a little bit. Alright, so now we have to open this up to accept the lead outs. Now this front part here, you're going to have a block, so to speak. So you don't want to take too much away from this area here. So we're just going to guess. A lot of what I do is just a guess. I mean, there's no big mystery in this. So that's where I'm going to cut out for the lead outs to pass through. You have to have enough material here to support the landing gear fore and aft. So in order to do that, we're going to have to break out a drill. Just so happens I had bought some drill bits from the Hardley Freight Company. And my $40 Hyper Tough drill set. But I'm going to have to go over to John's and get my battery, because I think this is going to be about dead. We have to have a spot to get the hacksaw blade in there, so let's drill the front one, the front hole. I got a vise over there, but I don't want to go over there by the TV. So let's do the third hole here. And the third hole, then we'll saw it out. Okie dokie. Man, there's just no room here. None. Can't set anything down. I'm here again. Hey, Dennis. Everybody like, subscribe, share. Super chats are always welcome. It's a long, boring day today. We're going to try to make some big progress on the Tucker XL. What I'm doing here, I don't recommend. I'm jigsawing in my hand. Okay, we got one cut out. Make sure we can see what we're doing here. Looks kind of crappy, but we'll clean it up. Now, not only does a smooth inside look nice, but it's stronger. So just as a suggestion, I suggest that you sand smooth everything, even inside. But there again, mileage may vary. You can do what you want. Okay. All right, there is number 3. Remember, this is like my other Tucker. I've only worked about an hour a day, but today we're going to try to make some more progress. We're going to, after I get these 3 more ribs done, I'm going to lay out the sheeting for the leading edges, both sides, get them soaking while I work on cutting the other wing panels, so tomorrow or even later tonight I can come back and put the leading edges on this wing. Now it's kind of important that you get these ribs in square, for the simple fact is you're going to be putting 1/8 shear web between this rib, this rib, this rib, this rib, this rib, that rib. You can fit them at different angles, but it's just a whole lot easier if they're square. So let's set this aside now. As I stated, it's very difficult working in this small environment with no room. I got to move stuff around. So I had traced out the rib pattern for 2, which is this here. And I'll go ahead and cut that with the jigsaw here. Get it roughed in, then we'll sand it with the drum sander. It's ridiculous how I got to do things here. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing or not. Okay, that's that. Basically what this shows you is that with a little ingenuity and a lot of intestinal fortitude, you can do anything. Now, on my last show, I told a couple of funny stories. I'm probably going to tell another one. And this has to do with the Bevins boys next door, too. We'll tell that story later on in the show here. I ought to do a comedy tape of just my childhood. No model airplane, just my childhood. Okay, so let's set this up here and see where we are. Now these lines are marked for the spar. You want to make sure that the back of that rib is right on the pen line. And you see it sticking up there a little bit. That's no good. So we are going to take this clamp. Can't pin through that, but you can clamp it. And then I'll take the Dremel or Moto tool or whatever you want to call it and bring it down to the foam size. Moved. Be careful not to grind into your foam. That way you hit that like button. It looks like nobody's doing that. Let's see what we got going here. Yep, I got no likes. 6 watchers, no likes. If you had liked the other video and I deleted them, I apologize, but I deleted the whole video. Because as I say, the whole computer crashed. Okay, got that side. Now it's sticking up on the other side, so we got to get it down. I get a lot of emails or messages on Stunt Hangar saying how much these videos help. Well, I'm glad. You know, as I stated, when I was a kid, there was no one would tell you anything. Okay, if you look here, it's proud. It's sticking up. Can't have that. So you're either going to have to take your Dremel tool, sanding block, magic wand, chisel, hammer, whatever it takes to get that down flat. The bad thing about, I was going to do the foam leading edges. I really like that. However, it does add an ounce, and we're going to try to make this airplane under the 58 ounce mark that my other one is. If I could make it 50 ounces, I'd be ecstatic. That more than likely won't happen, but we'll try to get as close as we can. Okay, I've got these sanded down. Now I marked the first rib, or the first line on the rib, as the spar leading edge. And because, you know, I don't have a saw that's really worth a darn, I'm just using it to rough in. I'm going to cut that groove, or that notch right there, with my Dremel tool. You say, what? Don't go too far. You can always cut some more off, but you can't add none, especially on this plywood. You want this nice and smooth so when you put the sheeting on, it doesn't leave a hard line there. Okay, let's we'll swap this out. We're gonna have to clear this anyway for when I do the leading edges. You guys are gonna have to bear with me when I put the wood in the tub. Okay, let's bring the wing back and test fit this piece. Needs some glue there. It fits better than perfect. We might have to take that hump out of that a little more. I think I will. It looks to me like the line would rub on that hump right here. If your lines rub on the ribs, the airplane will hunt and might die prematurely too. So if you think it's going to rub, take it out. That looks better. Okay, so now we need to make a balsa rib for it. I'm sure this is boring as hell. But as I said in the beginning of the video, it's going to be a long, boring session. You like the video. Well, if you like the video, hit the like button. These videos that I do are, I don't know, they're semi-educational because I'm passing on what I know, but they're more, I don't know, if you're building in your shop to keep you company, I guess. Okay, this is 2, LH2. Give you the update on the Hangouts. We our software provider that we use is having issues because they got knucklehead engineers trying to improve things, but you know, if something's working, why fix it? Fix it till it's broke. And we're looking into some other chat software. I mean, Skype doesn't work very good for what we're doing. Skype also has some security issues. So we're looking into an office program, 8x8. I don't know if that's going to work for us or not, but we shall see. The Appear In software no longer works. They've basically went out of business or whatever. So can't use that. I can't explain to you with enough emphasis that the fitment of these ribs is the most critical on the wing. For this airplane, it will be no more than 58 ounces, but I'd like to see it at 55. I'm using all of the materials that I've kind of acquired over the years for a super light plane. Okay. Make sure. Now these ribs only go in one way too, so if you think they go in back and forth, they don't. So make sure you get them in right. Sight down the see, that's down. So that's the top there. So where'd my stick go? I keep getting asked about those stupid pocket hinges. I have shown everything on pocket hinges and several videos. And you got to understand, I get tired of answering the same question over and over and over again. It's on video. Go on the channel, look for it. I think I did 3 videos on pocket hinges. Okay, that's it's not quite right. It's leading ahead. I'll turn it over and see what it looks like. That's definitely not right. So what is the issue? Yep, that's up. So this is the top. Why is it not leaning down? What's the issue here? So we're going to cut this back a little bit. Of course, I'll drag a sanding block over the top of this to straighten it all out before I put the, there it is. I guess, yep, there it is. It only takes a few thousandths to not be in the right spot. What that does is that it won't completely touch your leading edge cap. The rib won't go in there and fit perfectly if you don't have them in there square. So that's that. Now let's glue the plywood rib on. This side. Okay. You better make sure it's perfect too, because you get one shot with CA. One shot. Okay, what I do is I just normally transfer polyspan wing is going to be 2 ounces heavier at least because it takes more dope. This wing that I'll do here will be Jap tissue, which is even lighter than double lot. Okay, I have my cutout handy. I'm going to put the bell crank. You kind of want to plot the lead outs. I had a bell crank here. There it is. This is not the lightest bell crank, but I don't have any more of the Wilk. I don't have any more of the Steve Wilk 2-gram bell cranks, so I got to use these Tom Morris type bell cranks. Okay, so that's in there like that. The leadouts will pass that way. So we can leave that rib basically okay. We're going to cut that short right there. And you say, why am I leaving so much up front here? This is where the plywood, or excuse me, the maple wood, the maple motor mount piece goes to hold the landing gear. So you got to have enough glue area to have a good stout landing gear area. And this is probably going to cost me, I don't know, a few grams. But, you know, it's either that or break the landing gear out, which I saw Rick Jacobone tear the gear out of his airplane at Brodax. You got to have some structure somewhere. Okay. So now we'll cut this up, grind it out, and we can start moving on to our next project. Don't do as I do as I say. Yeah. Okay. Okay, let's cut that notch in it. Okie dokie. Is everybody staying inside like a good boy? Okay. Bummed out that chunk got knocked out of there. We can put one back, I guess, so it don't matter. It's on the inside of the airplane. Nobody will see it except me and you. But I gotta fix it. It's would drive me nuts to know that I could have fixed it and didn't. Where's my sanding tube? There it is. Is this necessary? No. Just because I know it's there. It's got to be that wide. A little less. There's also one at the top here, I see. Okay. So we'll wick that in there. Come on. You guys bored to death yet? The connection server timed out. Re-entry. What the heck? There it is. Are we still up and running? I can't tell. I can't find the mouse now either. What the heck? Here we go. Are we still running? Let's see. Yeah, I guess we're still up and running. It looks like my little iPad just died. That's all. Come on, play. Let's close out of this and try it again. What the heck? I am so sick of this non-working technology that these knucklehead kids are making. Yeah, this thing's locked up tighter than Dick's hat band. Now there it goes. Sheesh. Live chat, there we are. Okay. Yeah, if you're a kid listening to this and you're a computer nerd, you guys better go back to school. I'm a mechanic of various sorts, aircraft, motorcycle, diesel truck, whatever. Mechanics is mechanics, it's nuts and bolts. If one little thing screws up, I have to be perfect 100% of the time. You guys turn us loose with junk that you design. It's aggravating. Let us test it so you can figure out you've made a mistake. Get it right, then release it. I don't want to have to do your work for you. Okie dokie. We got all those snafus fixed. Okay, new again. Okay. It better be perfect. It's unbelievable what you guys do. And then all you get out of the knucklehead customer service, sorry. Yeah, you're sorry, all right. Okay, let's see how we go here. Yep, siding down the way looks good. Okay. There's one thing that I don't like is that there's a small gap here in this. I'm going to fill it and then sand it back. Why don't you have to sand it back? That's the size right there. That's a mistake that I made, and you know, it's one thing to make a mistake, but you guys need to learn. It's called pulling a rabbit. You need to learn how to figure out how to fix a mistake and move on. Because there are no real mistakes. They're just good solutions. Yeah, the glue didn't hold. Try it again. I'll tell you why sorry don't cut it. If I fix somebody's brakes on their motorcycle and they hit a wall, I can't say sorry or forgetting to tighten up the wheel. The wheel flies off. Sorry. Not only that, most of them big bikers, they come and knock you out. Okay, now let's test fit it. Yeah, well. We'll just let her fly like that. Yep. If you use the epoxy method, would it be good to paint a clear coat of dope on it to help the epoxy from sinking in? Use hairspray. Hairspray is lacquer. You just dust a thin coat, you know. This is the this 14-cent White Rain hairspray out of the dollar store. Just you can do a couple of coats, but you know, one coat, and it's just a dusting. It's not a painting of it. You don't want to get a clear gloss on it. You just want to dust it on, and then let it dry. And then put your Z-epoxy on and then wipe it all off. All off. Okay, so now let's go ahead and glue these ribs in, because I'm satisfied with the fitment and positioning of these. I lost my little triangle again, because I don't have any room. I'm sure there's somebody out there that would be more organized in a small area like this, but not me. I gotta have some room. If I had a 10-car shop, it wouldn't be big enough to work in. God, where the heck did it go? Nope, can't find it. Oh well, we'll just eyeball it. My eyes are pretty close. You notice there's no stiffener sticks on those. You know why? A little extra stick of wood on a piece of plywood ain't going to be no stiffer than the plywood. So that's in there parallel. It's in there at 90. I'll give it a drop of CA. Drop of CA. Okay, those are done. So all that's left for this wing panel are these two ribs right here. We'll be ready to go. Am I coming across too loud, overmodulated, or whatever? I've got to turn this heater down. Oh. Sit down for a second. Well, I'm looking at the chat, so if you got a question, you can go ahead and type that in now. I'm taking a 5-minute break or so. 5 watchers, 4 likes, no super chats. Not doing too good, guys. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button. As I stated, I know it's going to be boring, but what the heck? You want to see me do this? It's all about time. I don't remember whether I told this story or not, but I'm going to tell the story. When I was a kid, maybe I told a story. I told a story about Frank living in the front yard. But my dad was an ornamental horticulturist. He really loved the plants, and I know I've said that before because that's why Frank could live in the front yard. The Bevins boys were a few years older than me, and they lived next door. And they had this 52 Bel Air. And if I've told this story, go ahead and stop me. I won't tell it again. And they took the engine out of it. And this engine was, you know, like it threw a rod or something or whatever. It was totally dead. They were going to take it to the junkyard. And I said, hey, Laverne, what are you going to do with that motor? He said, we're going to take it to the junkyard. I said, no, I want it. So we got all the kids in the neighborhood, to come over there, and we had an 8-foot high block wall around our property because we had a swimming pool in the backyard, and that was the code in West Covina. You had to have an 8-foot high block wall or chain link, or it had to be 8 foot high. So it was quite high. We built some scaffolding, and we got all the kids in the neighborhood to come over, and we picked that engine up and threw it over the wall in between the garage, my bedroom, and my dad's grapevine. He had a grape vineyard like in the backyard. So my dad came home one day. He said, "Well, I think I'll go water the grapes." I said, "Wait a minute, I'll go do that for you." He said, "No, I'll do it myself." So I'm standing right next to him because I'm not the one that wants to get, to stew. I want to get in trouble right there on the spot. So he's watering the grapes, walking down the path, and he runs across this engine. He looked straight into the air, straight up. And like it fell out of the sky. He said, "What in the heck is this doing back here?" He said, I said, "I don't know." He said, "Yeah, you do. What's going on here?" Anyway, he got me a shovel, and I had to bury it because there was no way to get it out of the yard. So somewhere, or in West Covina, 1903 Glenmere, West Covina, California, there's a motor in the backyard buried. Pretty funny. Okay, let's finish up these last two ribs. We'll move on to the next portion of the build, which is the leading edges. Yeah. Okay, so where's my stick? I've lost my stick again. This is so aggravating. At least we're done with the saw. Cost me $20 to cut 4 ribs. But didn't know how else to do it. Okay, we got that. We got this. I gotta clean some of this out. I can't find the stick. Can't find nothing. Okay, put this back in the cradle. Yeah, that's you, Charles, right? Control line flying. Yep, there's one that goes right here. Maybe it's that one. I'm missing one. Yep, this one here. It's this one here. Okie dokie. There's been a few guys that have met my dad, but probably nobody that's chatting right now. He came to the world or to the Nationals with me in 2006, 2007, and 2009. LH5, it's that one there. So that's good. And LH4. I'm gonna miss him when he's gone. He's funny. We were we were in the steakhouse there in Muncie, my dad and I. He had this hat, and on that hat it had two lights. When you pushed the button on the bill, the two lights came on so you could see what you were doing. And them young girls that worked there, he would point it at them and say, "We're going to put you in the movies. Smile." And they'd laugh and giggle. Just a dirty old man. Okay. LH5, it goes on this side here. I'm going to have to cut some more sticks for